The top 10 worst decisions in sports history. You know that somebody, at least one person that on this list got fired. I mean, sports these days, billion-dollar industry, high stakes, legacies on the line. There's so much riding on the decisions the coaches, the players, the staff make on a day-to-day basis that, one mistake can really cause a complete and utter disaster. Like I remember it was the Super Bowl and Marshawn Lynch not running the ball. Like, why did Pete Carroll instruct Russell to throw? He should have given the ball to Marshawn Lynch and they probably would have won that Super Bowl. They would have been back-to-back winners. That one decision cost them a Super Bowl.
Always will be a lot of second guessing in the NBA of what might have been. Had we taken Michael, we might have had a dynasty.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the biggest mistakes ever made in sports.
The Red Sox committed the original sin of baseball. That is, they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees for cash.
Damn, big mistake.
Number 20, Japan's judo humiliation. The hometown crowd at the Tokyo Olympics was electric. It was 1964, and the IOC had just added judo to the games for the very first time. It was supposed to be a national showcase, Japan's own martial art on their home turf. Their champions were destined for gold. For 3 weight classes, they were right. Japanese judoka swept the medals, but the federation's critical mistake was hubris. They believed no outsider could possibly claim the new open weight division. By underestimating Anton Geesink, they left themselves vulnerable. The Dutch giant toppled Akio Kaminaga in the final, delivering a shock on home soil. Japan's national pride had turned into an Olympic humiliation, and the loss became a lasting lesson. Never assume victory is guaranteed. Number 19.
Big mistake. I mean, come on, man. They should have looked at the guy. Like, the guy was huge. Like, you can't rule somebody like that out. Like, size matters.
England's cricket bodyline tactics. The Ashes represent one of cricket's fiercest rivalries, England and Australia. But England's tactics in 1932 nearly tore the game and the British Empire apart.
There are 2 teams out there. One is playing cricket. The other is making no attempt to do so.
To contain Australian star Don Bradman, Captain Douglas Jardine ordered bodyline bowling, fast deliveries aimed at the batsman's body, with fielders crowding the leg side. It worked on the scoreboard, as England won the series. But the tactic was a colossal mistake. Players were injured, crowds were outraged, and Australia's government formally protested. The diplomatic rift between the 2 countries lingered for years.
It was so devastating to Anglo-Australian relations.
Relations between them were poisoned until the outbreak of World War II forced them to reconcile. Number 18.
Wow.
Lindsey Jacobellis blows it. Snowboarding was a sport.
I mean, throwing a cricket ball, I don't know whether any Americans or non-Europeans, like any country that doesn't really play cricket, a cricket ball is really hard, really solid. It's even harder than a baseball. So, and these guys throw it at like really high speeds, like almost 100 miles an hour. If that hits you on your body, I think somebody died. Yeah, the ball caught him in the neck. Yeah, super dangerous.
Coming into full international recognition in 2006, the snowboard cross event was making its Olympic debut in Turin. Young American superstar Lindsey Jacobellis was poised for a coronation, seconds away from winning the event's very first gold. Instead of cruising to victory, she went for a flashy grab on her last jump, wiping out spectacularly. The showboating move cost her the gold, as Switzerland's Tanja Frieden sped past to steal it. The fall haunted Jacobellis for years, replayed every time the Olympics rolled around. It wasn't until 2022 that she finally captured that elusive gold medal. It was a long-awaited but bittersweet redemption after one of the game's most famous wipeouts.
Man,
Number 17.
The wipeout, the years to the other Olympics, every night she was probably thinking, why me?
Jean van de Velde goes for the green. He arrived at the 18th hole of Carnoustie on the verge of victory. He needed only a double bogey to secure the championship. Most golfers in that situation would play it safe.
You lucky little rascal. And that bounced and seemed to go way to the right.
The Frenchman, though, pulled out his driver and attacked. His ball landed in the rough. Tough, but survivable. Then his next shot ricocheted off a grandstand. A later attempt landed in the water. His meltdown seemed to unfold in slow motion before the entire world. After removing his shoes and contemplating a shot from the burn, he finally staggered to a triple bogey. That forced a playoff he'd go on to lose, cementing one of the most infamous collapses in golf history.
He had it in the palm of his hand, and before he could close the fingers round the handles of the jug, it was snatched away.
Number 6.
You know that stung. And you know he's probably made a similar shot to that in practice thousands of times.
16. Andres Escobar's own goal. It was the 1994 World Cup final group stage match between Colombia and the U.S. Colombian defender Andres Escobar slid across the field to block a cross. If he had been successful, the play would have been on highlight reels around the world. Sadly, Escobar accidentally redirected the ball into his own net. The mistake sealed Colombia's shocking elimination, a humiliating outcome for a team hailed as a tournament dark horse. Back home, Escobar became the face of that disappointment. Just days later, he was gunned down outside a Medellin nightclub, his killers tied to cartel gambling losses from the match. Escobar was made a scapegoat for his nation's failure. He paid for that failure with his life.
Oh my God!
Cada vez que lo recordamos lloramos mucho, ya, porque te repito, era un buen jugador y era como persona, era una persona intachable. ¿Qué culpa? Un autogol lo puede hacer cualquiera. No tenía, eso no tiene ningún derecho de que alguien le cobre la vida.
Number 5.
That is insane. Someone killed him. Nah, I mean, come on now. Was there any relation between him and Pablo Escobar? Could that maybe have caused, contributed to it?
15. The IOC lets Russians compete. Russian athletes' doping has been an open secret and the butt of international jokes for decades. But in 2015, a scandal erupted. Evidence of a massive state-sponsored scheme and cover-up stretched across sports.
For years, international sports competitions have unknowingly been hijacked by the Russians. Coaches and athletes have been playing on an uneven field. Sports fans and spectators have been deceived.
The next year, the IOC had a chance to make a statement at the Rio Olympics. But instead of banning Russia outright, it allowed most athletes to compete. 2 years later in Pyeongchang, Russia was officially barred. Most of the world celebrated, until the Olympic athletes from Russia marched in under a neutral flag. The loophole became a running joke, as Russia kept winning medals while facing no real consequences.
Some Russian athletes, many of whom often medal in the Winter Games, can play if they can prove they're clean of performance-enhancing drugs, but they'll have to wear neutral, non-Russian uniforms.
Even today, the IOC finds pathways for Russians to compete, raising criticism that the organization values spectacle over accountability.
Oh, of course.
Number 4.
I mean, sport is full of such double standards. I mean, in football, because of what's happening in Ukraine, Russian teams aren't allowed to play in European competitions. Yet, the country, the situation happening in the Middle East, we all know which country I'm talking about. They're allowed to play in European sports as, like nothing is happening. There's just such double standards.
14. Tiger Woods' affairs. At the peak of his career, Woods wasn't merely the best golfer in the world, he was one of the most recognizable brands on earth.
He was the ultimate competitor. He did what he had to do to win.
It certainly created Tiger and then everybody else.
Then came 2009 and the personal choices that shattered it all. Woods' multiple extramarital affairs came to light in a tabloid firestorm. His private life splashed across magazine covers and TV screens worldwide. His marriage collapsed and so did his sponsorships. Gatorade, AT&T, and Accenture all bailed. Only Nike stuck around. Analysts estimated the fallout cost him billions in endorsements and tournament revenue. Though Tiger clawed his way back on the course, even winning the 2019 Masters, his reputation never fully recovered.
Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
The scandal remains one of the costliest self-inflicted mistakes in sports history.
He's fine. He's a billionaire anyway. And I think, I'm not saying what he did was good at all, but it kind of humanized Tiger, a little bit. It showed that he's a person just like you and me, capable of making mistakes and stuff. To me, he's still the GOAT of golf. He's still the GOAT.
Number 13, the European Super League. When Europe's richest football clubs announced a breakaway Super League in 2021, the backlash was as instant as it was full of rage.
It's a criminal act.
A spit in the face. It is a nuclear war.
Fans, players, governments, even royalty slandered
So dramatic. Like, come on.
it as a soulless cash grab. It was universally understood that this league would destroy the spirit of competition in the sport. Within 48 hours of the announcement, most clubs pulled out in embarrassment. The idea, though, never really died. Legal battles and backroom deals have kept the project alive in fits and starts, with renewed pushes surfacing even in 2025.
We don't want to be consumers, we're actual supporters of a football club. And so there has to be a sort of two-way relationship there.
What began as a poorly thought-out power play has become an ongoing tug-of-war over the soul of European football. Number 12.
It was a terrible idea. Like, one of the big things about football in the UK is the jeopardy involved. If you are one of the 3 worst teams in the Premier League, you will get relegated to the league below. And if you are one of the 3 worst teams in that league, you'll get relegated again and again and again. And eventually your club will run out of money because there's no revenue. Like, that jeopardy makes the games so important, all of them, because you are not guaranteed to keep your status as a Premier League club. And the Super League wanted to get rid of the jeopardy. Like, it would have just made the league so boring, honestly. I think the NFL, if they introduced more jeopardy, where, like, if you are one of the bottom 3 teams, you get dumped into like NFL League 2 or something like that, the games would automatically become so much more exciting, I promise you.
Coach Little keeps Martinez in the game. Game 7 of the 2003 ALCS had Boston fans dreaming of finally knocking out the hated Yankees.
But when the Red Sox came back in the Bronx to tie the playoff series at 3 games, they looked like a team of destiny.
The curse of the Bambino felt ready to break. With a 5-2 lead in the 8th, though, ace Pedro Martinez was clearly tiring. Manager Grady Little had relievers ready, but chose to leave Pedro on the mound.
Why?
The Yankees pounced, stringing together hit after hit to tie the game. Hours later, Aaron Boone's walk-off homer in the 11th sent New York to the World Series. Little's decision cost him his job and remains one of baseball's legendary blunders.
That cost him the game, that cost him the series, that cost him a chance at the World Series, and ultimately it cost Grady Little his job.
If not for the Red Sox's championship redemption the following year, he might still rank alongside Bill Buckner as Boston's most notorious scapegoat.
Damn.
Number 11.
Oh, man, it always sucks when you get fired, you know.
The 2004 NHL lockout. More than 20 years ago, NHL owners and players clashed over a new collective bargaining agreement. The league demanded a salary cap to curb escalating costs. The players' union balked.
It's time to bid farewell to the NHL's 2004-2005 season and what might have been.
Neither side blinked, and the NHL became the first major North American sports league to cancel an entire season. Fans were furious as their arenas went dark. For the first time since 1919, the Stanley Cup stayed put. Though the eventual deal gave owners their salary cap, the damage to the sport's popularity was lasting.
Our Board of Governors gave its unanimous approval to a collective bargaining agreement that signals a new era for our league.
A year of hockey was completely erased thanks to greed and stubbornness. Number 10, 1 yard to victory.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted.
Yeah, is this the Seattle Seahawks? Is this Marshawn Lynch gate?
At the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
With the clock winding down on Super Bowl 49,
Yeah, it is. They should have just given him the ball.
the Seattle Seahawks were closing in on defeating the Patriots and winning the big game for the 2nd consecutive year. All that was left for them was to move the ball 1 yard into the end zone.
I can't believe the call.
With beast mode Marshawn Lynch on their side, it seemed like the Seahawks were almost definitely going to run it in and win the game. However, in a shocking turn of events, Seattle decided to try and pass the ball instead.
Terrible.
This led to Malcolm Butler intercepting the pass and New England winning the Super Bowl.
Why?
One of the dumbest calls in Super Bowl history.
Number 9.
What was he thinking? Can someone please tell me what he was thinking? Marshawn would have definitely... Did he not want Marshawn to get the glory or something? Because I remember he was really popular at the time. Like, was it that petty?
Gretzky is benched.
Is this the toughest moment in your hockey career? Well, to say the least, we're devastated.
It was the 1998 Nagano Winter Olympic Games, and in the hockey semifinals, Canada was forced into a shootout with the Czech Republic, despite being clear favorites to win the game. But all was not lost. Canada had the star power, including the great one, Wayne Gretzky. There was no way they could lose the shootout, right? Well, for unknown reasons, the coach, Mark Crawford, didn't nominate Gretzky to take a shot.
What?
Due to this highly questionable decision, Canada lost the game and finished 4th.
Yikes.
The details behind Crawford's medal-losing choice to bench Gretzky have never been explained.
And I feel so sorry for Gretzky. You know, you can almost see it in his eyes. This is it for me for the Olympics, and it's sad.
Number 8.
Because isn't Gretzky, isn't he the GOAT of ice hockey? Like, why would you not give him one of the penalty shots? Like, what?
2002 figure skating mishap.
David, what was your first thought when the numbers went up?
It was like a punch in the stomach.
In the 2002 Winter Olympics, Russia was awarded gold in the pairs figure skating event, to the shock of many, including the silver medalists. Jamie Salé and David Pelletier of Canada put on a performance that many felt should have won the duo gold. As the scores came in, so did many complaints, and the judges were accused of fixing the competition. This was confirmed when a French judge broke down in her hotel and confessed that she was pressured by the head of the French skating organization to give the Russians a higher score. This led to both Russia and Canada being awarded the gold.
They could see that we made absolutely no mistake, and it has to be that picky when two skaters do skate well. And they definitely did make a mistake.
Number 7.
No
Pacquiao's
way.
split decision loss to Bradley. In 2012, Manny Pacquiao was boxing's biggest global star. Audiences were primed to watch his bout, defending the WBO welterweight title against undefeated Timothy Bradley.
All eyes on Pacquiao to see if he's ready for the fight or if he has been diminished by his personal transformation, as so many seem to be thinking is the case.
For most fans and commentators, the fight didn't feel close. Pacquiao dominated with speed and power, outlanding Bradley in nearly every statistical category. By the final bell, the outcome seemed obvious. Then came the shock. A split decision for Bradley. The arena erupted in boos, and outrage swept the sport. The call was so controversial it sparked accusations of corruption and renewed demands for reform in boxing's scoring system.
And I think that is a terrible, bogus decision.
Was it really that controversial? I need to watch that again.
I'm dumbfounded. I don't know what to say.
Pacquiao and Bradley would fight twice more, with Pacquiao winning both fights. But the 2012 decision remains one of boxing's most infamous. Number 6. The Pete Rose.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure there's all kinds of corruption in boxing and combat sports as a whole, for sure.
The banishment for life of Pete Rose from baseball is the sad end of a sorry episode.
Pete Rose should be a baseball legend. With many record-breaking feats under his belt, he would have gone down as one of the best hitters in MLB history. However, due to his gambling scandal in 1989, this
did he just elbow him in the head?
Will never be the case. Rose was caught betting on Cincinnati Reds games while he was employed as a manager for the team.
Oh, come on.
As a result of this, he was deemed permanently ineligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Hit King's poor decisions and apparent gambling addiction may have destroyed his legacy forever.
Oh,
why would
man.
you? The cardinal rule of no betting.
I don't
baseball.
know. I was stupid. I made mistakes.
Number 5, Zidane.
I mean, at least he recognizes he made mistakes. Gambling, man, gambling. I think is one of the worst addictions there is. Honestly, it is so bad, so bad.
And headbutt. In the dying stages of extra time in the 2006 World Cup final between France and Italy, star midfielder Zinedine Zidane was needed for the possible penalty shootout that would follow. However, numerous insults from Italian centre-back Marco Materazzi provoked Zidane to headbutt the Italian, and he was sent off. The game went to penalties, where Zidane would have certainly made a big impact for France. However, they lost to Italy instead. Zidane has publicly said that he wouldn't have been able to live with himself if he wasn't sent off. We're not sure that France would say the same thing.
You can't excuse that. Zidane's...
Yeah, he lost his head completely, man. I get it, but, you know, he said something about your mum, but come on, man. It's the World Cup final.
Career ends in disgrace.
Number 4, the MLB steroid era.
One of those guys you looked at and said, that's a Hall of Famer. Well, a Hall of Fame career perhaps, but the choice that he made to use performance-enhancing drugs, to me, that does not define a Hall of Famer.
Oh, stop it, man. They're all on roids. They are all taking it.
Throughout the 1990s, Major League Baseball's poor sanctions on the use of steroids led to crazy high stats across the league. Due to the use of performance-enhancing drugs, some players hit a lot more home runs than the previous averages. And this wasn't a gradual change either. Between the 1995 and 1996 seasons, the number of 40-plus home run hitters increased from 4 to 17. These extraordinary numbers caused a series of steroid scandals involving the likes of Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire. This led to long-term ineligibility for some and major health concerns for others.
To me, Bud Selig, he will be defined by how this era is viewed by history.
Number 3, Patrick Roy.
But a lot of people say that the roid era in baseball was like the most entertaining. Is it true? Because they were just hitting 500-yarders all the time.
Versus Mario Tremblay.
Bang, bang, 8, 9 goals. I didn't have any choice then. And I know that he was mad.
It was an off night for the Montreal Canadiens in December of '95. The team was suffering at the hands of the Detroit Red Wings. However, it could have gone very differently. It was well known that goalie Patrick Roy and new coach Mario Tremblay were not the best of friends. But this poor relationship escalated after Tremblay waited until Roy had let in 9 goals before switching goalies. Tremblay's power play contributed to the biggest home defeat in Canadiens history.
Wow.
Montreal would lose their star goalie shortly after, and Roy went on to win 2 more Stanley Cups with the Colorado Avalanche.
It's not easy, and it's too bad how this whole situation came out.
Number 2, Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan.
Sam Bowie was really good, but by the time they drafted him, he'd missed 2 full years, he'd been redshirted twice. To me, it's more of a what if.
Nobody can see the future, but they can dwell on the past, especially if you're the Portland Trailblazers. In the 1984 NBA draft, Portland was on the clock for the 2nd overall pick, selecting
is his leg broken? Oh,
Bowie from Kentucky. However, in the 3rd pick, Chicago drafted Michael Jordan. Bowie was a decent player, but his career was plagued with numerous injuries.
That leg!
Making this a bad decision before we even look at what Jordan accomplished on the court. He was, and still is, a pop culture powerhouse. We can be sure that Portland is still kicking themselves about this one.
How could people not see this in the moment? You gotta be kidding me. Who passes up this guy?
Oh, come on, man. Hindsight's 2020. Nobody knew. Nobody could have known.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Babe Ruth, franchise killer.
New York never was able to beat the Red Sox before this. The Red Sox could never beat New York after the sale either.
Still recognized today as one of the greatest hitters in baseball history, Babe Ruth was possibly the biggest steal for the Yankees, no matter the price. After building a legend in Boston, he was sold to New York's better-known team in 1919. This deal saw the beginning of the curse of the Bambino. After Ruth's move, he managed to capture 4 World Series titles, while the Sox were in the early stages of an 86-year championship drought. Not only did Ruth bring New York a lot of glory, but his departure from Boston fueled one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
Is he seen as the best baseball player ever, Babe Ruth?
Ari Frazee was sitting in a taxi, and he was bragging that he sold Ruth, and the cab driver slammed the brakes, pulled him out, and punched him in the nose.
Did your
Dude, so many, like, really bad mistakes here. For me, like, still, Marshawn Lynch not being given the ball to run it in from that close to the touchdown line is just, I just don't understand it. Can someone explain to me, like, what has Pete Carroll ever explained himself there? Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.